Hey guys, good morning and welcome to the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast. I am your host, Charles Watson, and thank you for joining us this Sunday for our video feed. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about and just share with you guys 5 simple and basic tips that you can follow to help increase your chances of your startup business being successful. So let's jump into the content. So guys, if you're thinking about starting a small business, you are in excellent company. You know, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently about 28.8 million small businesses across the United States. Small businesses, they account for 99.7% of all business in the US, and communities and people and towns all across the nation rely on small businesses for jobs, goods, services, and general economic well-being. You know, starting a small business is no easy task, and a staggering statistic proves it. About 2/3 of small businesses survive to the 2-year mark in business. Half of those will survive to the 5-year mark, and 1/3 of those will survive to 10 years and beyond. So how do you increase your chances of survival in the business world? I've got 5 tips I want to share with you right now. Number one tip I have for you is when you're getting ready to start a small business is you want to find something you love. As a business owner, you really need to realize early on that this is going to be a marathon and not a sprint. You know, it's easy to get excited when you're first starting out and creating something to just jump all in. But as time goes on and the ups and downs of business become a reality, there's definitely going to be times that you want to throw in the towel. Most businesses, and this is another statistic, don't even start to gain traction until their first year in existence and in business. And in fact, if you ask any successful entrepreneur about their overnight success story, the majority of them will tell you that it took about 10 years for them to become that overnight success. Therefore, as a small business owner, it is vital that you build your business on something that you are passionate about. Build your business on a passion. And an easy way to do this, guys, is to remember what you loved as a child. Often our truest passions emerge in childhood, and then they're only squelched, and they become squelched by real life pressures. So think about things you loved before you had to worry about a career, before you had to worry about bills, before you had to worry about being responsible for other people. Maybe it was writing. Maybe you were really passionate about writing. Maybe it was science experiments. You were really excited about building that volcano for school, or that model of the solar system, or just getting your hands dirty and doing projects. Maybe it was taking care of other people. Maybe you had to take care of a loved one, or take care of a family member or a close friend, and you really found value in taking care of somebody. Maybe, like me when I was younger, maybe it's selling candy to your friends at school. That's how I started out. When I was in junior high and middle school, I used to sell blow pops and Smarties and Fireballs and things like that to my classmates to help generate some extra money. When you get in touch with your childhood and your childhood instincts, that's really an important step in finding and classifying your passion. And once you have that, build your business around that. The second tip I have for you guys is never underestimate the power of community and networking. Business networking is the process of establishing mutually beneficial relationships with other business people and potential clients and customers. The goal here when you network and when you make connections and stuff is to spread awareness and your message For those in your community, to family and friends. A lot of times when you're just starting out and a lot of people don't know who you are, the best way to get established and to get your name out there is to tell your friends and family and have them share your content and share awareness for your brand. Community networking and business building really offers a lot of benefits, and some of these benefits include new contacts and referrals, a higher visibility for your business or your brand. It allows you to share knowledge and experience with others, and finally, it's a great way for you as a small business owner to build confidence and morale. Meeting people in person, this might seem like a little old-fashioned, especially in the digital age, but whenever and wherever possible, you should take the time to network face-to-face. The reason is because this leaves a lasting impression and allows others to put a face to your business. The third tip I have for you guys is learn new skills. You know, as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, it is going to be imperative that you're constantly working on continuous learning. Continuous learning is about really expanding your ability and your skill set by learning regularly and learning how to upgrade those skills and upgrade your knowledge. Strong continuous learning skills are definitely required to successfully adapt to the changing markets and business practices. Guys, when you learn a new skill and when you take the time to invest in yourself and really learn about your niche and learn about your craft and your trade, it has benefits that really go way beyond the actual skill learned. Some of these include, your brain chemistry changes. You learn at an increased rate, so your ability to learn becomes more proficient, it becomes quicker, and generally you just really become a more interesting person to hang around, and you really just become a more interesting person when you socialize with people, and that draws people in, especially if you master your craft and you master your trade. Overall, this is going to make you a stronger business leader, and it's going to help position yourself in your market as an expert in your field, and that's vital. The fourth tip I have for you guys is be open to feedback. Most of us, myself included, we get defensive or angry whenever we're faced with constructive criticism, right? I mean, see if this sounds familiar. Your heart races, your mind begins to move a million miles a minute, and your first instinct is to make excuses for defending your actions or your positions. The truth is, however, as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, you're just gonna have to get over this. There is value and opportunity in constructive criticism and feedback. Feedback allows us as owners, creators, and influencers to really identify our weaknesses, and it really allows us to improve. Remember, they say that which gets measured gets improved. And you can really find value in that, especially in feedback, because it's only by measuring our downfalls that we can adjust and we can, go back and relearn something, and we can really be more successful in everything we do. So next time someone offers you feedback or constructive criticism, stop your initial first reaction and listen. Thank the person for their feedback and really ask questions and get into a two-way dialogue so that you can deconstruct that feedback and you can have a better understanding of what they think you need to improve. When you're defensive about feedback, you run the risk of missing out on important insight and opportunities that can only make you stronger in the long run. And finally, guys, the fifth tip I have for you is don't give up. Like any entrepreneur or small business owner, at some point, you're definitely gonna feel like throwing in the towel and giving up. whether you think it's because you're failing, whether you think because your idea wasn't good, or, whether you lack the skills or the comprehension to really navigate and run that business, or maybe you're just not seeing the results that you had originally envisioned. You're not making the money, you're not having the reach, you're not getting the results that you originally wanted. I just want you guys to know that you are not alone. Everyone, every small business owner, every influencer, every blogger, every creative, they go through this stage at some point in their small business journey. The important thing is to keep going and not to give up. Because if you're truly passionate about your message or your product or your service, then you really need to strive to make it a reality for you, and you have to work on it every day. It takes consistency and it takes hard work. Again, that's how you improve. But everyone feels like giving up, so don't feel like you're alone, okay? You're just not. Running a small business, guys, really does have a lot of benefits. I mean, you're in control. You get to build something of value. You develop a huge sense of pride. You actually get to help people and truly make a difference in your communities. And you get an incredible sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. It's not an easy challenge, right? But remember, failure, like constructive criticism, is part of the process. Greatness, it just doesn't come from living in your comfort zone. It's only by pushing yourself that you can achieve great things. So when things become uncomfortable for you, when you become frustrated, when you think that you're not going anywhere, don't worry. It means that you're actually doing something, you're moving forward, and that in itself is exciting. In closing, guys, it is not an easy challenge to have a startup business or to become a small business owner or an entrepreneur. And it's definitely not for the faint of heart. I mean, entrepreneurship and small business ownership are definitely not for everyone. But for those that are truly passionate and those that really want to make a difference and those that just feel a higher calling, it's just a natural progression in your journey of growth and self-expression. And guys, following these 5 tips will ensure that you hit the ground running and you'll be set up for success in the future. Well, guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share this video, the information, with someone that you think could benefit from it. You can check all this out and more on our website, expertinfluenceracademy.com. Remember, here at Expert Influencer Academy, we help you package, promote, and monetize your message across the top 5 social media platforms. That's all we have for today. I'm your host, Charles Watson, and we will see you next week.